welcome to another highlights stream for Gen X Racing. Today it's round 2 of our Group 4-90 mile challenge. As you can see, it's 90 mile challenge. This season all cars are the same for each race, but they do change every race. This is to try and get around the awful unfairness of Bob in GR4. So today's round 2, as I said, we are in Canada at the Circuit de Villeneuve in the Ford Mustang, as mentioned, 34 laps. The pit window is 5 laps. So the pit window is from the end of lap 5 to the end of lap 29. The minimum stint is 5 laps. All tyres are available and all tyres are required. It's late morning, it's sunny but muggy with S10, and there is a 6 times time dilation. So going through the runs and riders for you, getting pole is Brooksy. In second, Sam. In third place, one of our newer drivers, Fatman. Jeff is in fourth. James D qualified in fifth. Kareem qualified in sixth. Leon in seventh. Jimmy Nick in eighth. Hozu in ninth. Deep Blue in 12th, and myself bringing up the rear. So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. So here we go. Full start by somebody in the second row, and they're off. Down to the first corner, you'll see holds the inside line. Sam is second. Batman's moved up to third. Dead in fourth. Sharim in fifth. Leon in sixth. Jeff, it was who had the full start and is now back in seventh place. I have made a few places. Eighth place in the mobile, followed by Cody. So Leon touch Jimmy and Deep Blue having a little cover at the back of the tree, but all good. As we continue on the first lap, we can see in the lead on medium tyres. Rand has started on soft, so he will be wanting to get past Brooksy as soon as possible to get the advantage of those tyres. Shane goes a bit deep on the hairpin and is on hard. Jeff is on top, so will be ruining his full start, and now has a train behind him. Leon also on the top. Let's ride with Leon. Back to what happened there for you. Sam, let's just follow him. Here from a proper. Trying to navigate the World Champions for the first time. Indeed, as a snapper steering, it pushes him right into the wall and to the loft. 5 places, 6 places. Right to the back of the field. So that moves Jim in running on the hard for his first and up to second. Jeff has pulled back to third, Leon in fourth, closely followed by Shirin. On the half also, myself on the softs is getting fifth. Shirin also on the softs in second. Cody on the medium. Blue and Batman still trading places. With Batman being on the soft. And Van Revere also on softs after his encounter with the wall. So the field is still packed apart from the Hershey tendency to coming around the hairpin. Breaking point for top for his last hang. He's out of the World Champions and does so as a minute check Leon. Leon picks up a half set penalty. I am 6 on it. Get a snap of oversteer. Ride with Nick. There you go for the special of it. So you can see the stamp pass into the head. Great shot, laser. Doesn't trust the grip on the outside, backs off. Hoping to run up for a run down the back straight. Don't think he's close enough. Grim says his penalty. Mark has a big trunk curve. Actually, passing it as he does. It feels like the ever is going to get the pass. Although Jimmy for issuing the pass. So Dan is back up to 8, has his wipers on. Batman, so doing a good job on the hards, keeping Batman behind him, who is behind him, and Lucius has a spinner at the back. I think it was Kenny, having to that. Herb loses back end and then tries to threat, loses the back end the other way and goes about his away. So slowly forward, I think we're looking at deep blue Batman. Batman has now taken their position from the blue. So everybody's still relatively good patch. This is what we were hoping for with the new format we have. Woodsy is probably a short 5 seconds out in front now, after the false start has pulled its way back into second. There's a lot of room to the world champions. Cheyenne in first group on hard fire, Leon in fourth on soft, Green in fifth, Jimmy and cleared me, it's now rapidly pulled up the back of Corinne. So Corinne is on hard, Jimmy is on soft, so they'll be hoping to get past Corinne in quick water. Leon may have had a problem as we now have 3 right out of 4 between Leon, Corinne and Jimmy. So this battle with Corinne, who's the middle of the sandwich. So he tries to defend while attempting to make an attack on Leon also. Is now making a move on myself, and I'm going to pick that bubble. He's going to go around the outside, lining himself up for slip back. So we now have a 5-way battle. For 4th down to 8. Leon, Corinne, makes the attempt on Leon, gets past. Leon, Jimmy, a little bit of dual vein from the south and down. Not intentional. So can Corinne make put the car down a little early, gets squirrely. The B3 have now got that little gap to myself and down. Deep Blue is a little way back, so Deep Blue and Batman are still having a morsel battle. Deep Blue is still managing to keep Batman behind, even though Batman is on the much lower tyre. And Kozu is continuing his race in 11th. We'll get back to the main fight on track at the moment. So Leon goes to the outside, Corinne defends the inside. You have the now it's a drag race up to the last chain of the lap. Three other Hunter drivers racing to pick up anything that happens to the two in front of them. So Leon has a leg. Ashwin goes into the pit. I go defensive. Trying to keep Dan behind me, Dan takes the wide of the line. Leon 4, Jimmy 4, that's 6, Dan in second place. Leon is on the soft. Got all four of these drivers are on the soft. Driving the sand. Some yellow shifts on the backside. Jimmy now having a look at the other additional advantage and take the place straight into the 10. We'll start in shape. Goes you into the World Champions. But so there's Jimmy on the exit. So second road is maintained. I've put up a hard-set penalty. And have his wipers on. So Whitley is probably 5 seconds out in front on the mediums. Jeff on the soft. Probably different to JJ, who is on hard. Leon is on, as you said, top. There will be battles to watch on track. 8 laps of bumper to bumper action. Right up to my bumper. Down to the hairpin. Doesn't really take any risks as he knows he'll be heading past me as I hit the penalty line. Pull over off of the racing line to set our penalty as you need to in single class racing. Raging for a second with everybody else a little bit of air time. Let's see. Left lap for 1:45.5. Yeah, he's back his way back to the second. With the fastest lap of the race at the moment at 1:45.74. Route also. JN on the hard side in third. Have the battle that's been raging since the beginning of the race. Leon, Jimmy and Dan all within half a second of each other. Going down to the hairpin again. Jimmy defends the inside and trying for a split back as he has the grunt. Into the slipstream. No, not a chance, although Corinne, or Jimmy, inside third on the way to the last chicane, which cut a lot of his speed and allowed down through, so Dan is now up to 5th. Jimmy's down to 6th. himself second. Batman is in 8th position. Cody is now up to 9th with a couple of people making their first pit stop. Corinne, who is now on a new set of soft tires, and Shifu bringing up the rear also in a set of new soft, but he has, as I said, one of the key drivers so far to pit. So the battle that was raging for 10 laps hopefully proved. We now have found a green formula for the GR4. Petrol from 4 cars to 3 cars to 2 drivers. Is into his outside for his first pit stop. I'm trying to get rid of my soft. Sam has now passed Leon. So we're now back to a speedway back. Batman's now back at his pit with the pit stop occurring. Look at the closing stages for you, as this is truncated highlights. Let's watch them as they finish. So Dixie on the last lap. Even after 34 laps of racing, a mere 2 seconds. 15 for 1, 2, 3. Again, keep to get the fastest lap with 1:44.6. So Dixie got to drive. Quickly followed by KN in second. We now wait for Sharin. Oh no, he's picked up a penalty in the last lap. This is going to give Jeff an opportunity to sneak third place. Back into the slipstream, but it's a loss short of Jeff, 34th respectively. But Batman, who progressed throughout the race, right from the back, has done a stellar job to get up to good place. And he is in 6th. Oh dear, that looks like a 2 minute. Finishes in second. Leon finishes in 8th, or also shortly. Close to what the advantage is there, I think. Cody finishes in 9th. Blue finishes in 10th, and Ivory finishes in 11th, so it's really my race downhill by the lap. And there you have it for another highlight from the annals of Gen X Racing.